Hey, and welcome to another Chicago Beer Pass beer review. We're getting down with some Surly Oktoberfest.
Man.
So they sent us some of these cans when they sent those Damien cans.
Oh, right on.
And so it is now past Oktoberfest season, but I hadn't dived into these yet.
You know?
And we got...
Good job by you, Brad.
we got our Steins.
Yeah, goddamn right we got our Steins, man.
These are Stein shots. It feels appropriate for, we're sharing a can here.
Dude, this is bringing me so much joy right now, Brad. You don't even know. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, Surly, I know we talked about them a lot when we did the Damien episode. We had Afro Beer Chick here with us, trying to convince her that porters are good, although that's more of a black lager.
Yeah, at that point, because the second runnings of darkness.
Black ale, not
yeah,
black lager.
Yeah, it's like a black ale, and then there's no real emphasis on hops, where the second runnings of Bourbon County, or even the non-barrel aged Bourbon County was like a dry hop thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they call that, man? They called
the small beer.
No, small beer. But
Yeah.
I meant like I was thinking the Bourbon County one in particular.
But this is really fun to drink this this way because I forgot to mention on the podcast, I went to Dovetail and I was drinking the Kolsch, which gets served in these the Kolsch style glasses, $3 each, and they'll keep bringing them to you. They're like, "You ready for another one?"
It's almost like a chili, vessel.
Yeah. And so you're just slamming them, and you're like, "These are great." It's might be one of my favorite new beers in Chicago.
Really, the Kolsch.
Dovetail Kolsch.
Yeah, I saw how they were being served. They come out on a tray, and then they're in that chili pint glass. Which
Yeah,
is
that was kind of just for the party,
beaker.
but you can buy them by the tray too if you're with a big group.
Okay, right on.
So, we're drinking these out of our little stein, so you're just you keep crushing them.
There will always be a place for these kind of beers, man. Smaller beers with big flavor. Because what is this? Maybe like 6%.
Yeah, 6%. And
6% lager.
And I drank all the Marzens or Oktoberfest when I was at Beer Hocktacular. So I had a few, and this falls above average, middle of the road above average. It would, I'd have to have the Metropolitan one side by side to this.
Yeah.
This feels it feels different because we're also drinking it out of little tiny glasses.
Little ass cups. Yeah. Because some of them lean towards there's caramel and those toasted notes, and then there's biscuity notes, almost like a dark cracker notes. But then this leans more like toast, like dark toast with honey on it. Kind of.
Yeah, a little sweeter and lighter flavor.
Yeah.
More crisp and easy drinking.
Yeah. It's not really a biscuity flavor.
Mm-hmm. And it's overall pretty light too, more of a pale color than that copper hue you usually see from a lot of Oktoberfest. So I don't know, more lager, although it's a lager, more lager color that you would typically see from a Pilsner or a Kolsch or a.
Yeah, you're right. It's not as It's an interesting spin on it. I mean, it's definitely got those traditional Oktoberfest notes. Just their interpretation isn't what we're used to from. You said Metro. You could also throw Sierra Nevada in there, or even
the Goose. The Goose Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
The Goose Oktoberfest is a little more. I feel like it was a little more caramely.
Yeah, and who's the crew down in St. Louis that loves lagers? We've had their Oktoberfest too.
Oh, Urban Chestnut.
Yeah, Urban Chestnut. That one's nice.
Yeah,
This is nice. It's just a different interpretation, I think. Yeah, like you said, it's a lighter, more approachable version of the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It's good. Or even buckle downs. Those are all more caramel and toasted forward.
Which I think is perfect for Surly because a lot of their beers are big IPAs or big stouts. So to have something that's you don't want something that feels too sweet or too heavy because that same person's going to drink that darkness that's on tap or whatever, I don't know, double furious, or if that's a thing.
What was your favorite Oktoberfest from that Beer Hop Tacular? Because at Beer Hop, the way it fell in the calendar, there were a lot of Marzens on draft anyway.
I said, what were my top three? It was Metro. I'm forgetting my.
Yeah, I forgot too. Oh, was Floyd's one of them?
Floyd's was good. Yeah, Floyd's was second, but Floyd's is like a hoppy
Yeah.
version of it. And then it was like, it wasn't Pollyanna, but it was another brewery like that. I was like, they just make good beer, and it's good. I want to say it starts with an S, but not Saint Laurent, not.
I think Pollyanna, and I think Buckle Down.
Yeah, Buckle Down. Buckle Down wasn't at Hoptacular.
Okay.
But they have a good Oktoberfest too.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and listen to my own episode.
I will say this though. This is like truer to Oktoberfest than some are with regards to like either like a low to moderate hop profile, or if you have a hop profile that's bigger, make it be those noble hops where they're earthier and spicy. None of that cute citrus shit. We don't want that shit. And this is doing a good job of staying away from those.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to do. We're Americans. We just call it Oktoberfest and just throw some fucking non-Oktoberfest style hops in it.
Yeah, there was one of the ones at Beer High that I was like, they had an Oktoberfest and whatever the other one is. Like, what, the Marzen and Oktoberfest are the same.
Those are synonyms, yeah.
But then the other one is like
Fest beer?
a fest. They had a fest beer. That's not.
I think that's all the same.
No, one like is aged a long time in
The Marzen literally means March, right?
Right.
Like hey, we started lagering this.
But
in
then there's
March for the October.
But then there's the fake one that like we kind of made up. It might be the fest beer, because there was a brewery serving both of those, and they were both terrible.
Because to be fair, like there's only like 5 or 6 crews where really, like, if you're not making them within certain regions, it's kind of like saisons. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not making it within a certain region, even though you're making the same style beer, if it's not made over here, then it's not technically an Oktoberfest beer. So there's that.
So, although you're watching this well past Oktoberfest season, this was canned in, what's that, July? Yeah, 7. Yeah. Look for this next year. It's tasty.
Yeah. And, it's important, even though I'm not huge. I love Dusseldorf mustard. I love big, gigantic, soft pretzels. That's in the list for me. But it's important that we recognize, like, the largest party on the planet is a lager party. And it's something that stops us from, like, summertime ends, right? And then before we get into barrel aged and stout season, there's this little 3-month section of
this is this like toasty season,
toasty fest beer season, right? And it's the best time of the year, and it speaks to like precision in brewing, because you can't really hide a lot of flaws in these types of beers. Mm-hmm. And there's something to be said about that, and I'm glad that we stop and celebrate that.
Yeah,
because that's really the anchor of a lot of these different. A lot of people get into beer because of old classic German styles. A lot of American brewers were born because they really dug these styles.
Yeah, and it's important to go back and just have one in between your other beers. Like, you can only drink those pastry stouts so much. Have Oktoberfest, have something else to like put in between this to reset and be like, okay, that's what beer is supposed to taste like.
Dude, there's over 70 official styles of beer. Mm-hmm. Get out there and just, sip them all at least once from a little fancy cup like we do in the Loose Key studio.
But Surly making some awesome beer, so thanks to them for sending this. And I'm glad I got to try this.
Yeah, likewise, man. Right on. Cheers.